Okay, people have been giving feedback that they like the videos and they need some more videos, so I'm making another video on this one as well. And it says you're asked to trade your work with a peer in class, so it's good to, you've probably noticed some people that you've been reflecting on in your discussions that you'd like to trade work with, and so you should set that up as soon as possible, who you can work with. If you're unable to work with your peer for whatever, with a peer from the class for whatever reason, time issues included, then you can just ask a friend or relative to help in editing your work, okay? So the first part, it says we're going to be writing a news report, and there's a nice student created example here with some pointers that I think I would either print out or at least I'd have it on hand to remind me of the key ideas that are going on. All right, the headline, and feel free, it's actually probably a good idea to have this in different fonts to make things stand out, make it nice and easy. Headline, okay, is going to be nice and easy, grabs the attention. Byline, who's it by? In the lead, okay, is going to tell us a lot of who, what, where is going on, so we can hook it in and decide what's going on, and then I can read on if I want to, or do I know most of the information what's happening. Okay, a little bit of an introduction, what the key points are happening. Sometimes we even throw a quote in there, and we're getting the rest of the stuff. The when, why, and how is coming in through here in the introduction. In the body, we're getting a little bit more of the why and the how. Okay. And as we go through it, so it's a pretty long one. Okay, continuing the body paragraph through some more quotes in here. We're getting some sources quoted in here, some more source quotes in there, and some kind of conclusion. Okay, and there's some tips on here. And overall, notice how what's going on. All the quotes tied into the source. How do they work? Sentences are varied, but some are short and some are long. And we've decided how to, even though the opinion of a displeased audience member is included, the angle report in the event of a good light. Okay, so they're talking about how the angle works through. So that's a really nice example of a good news report, and we've looked at news reports already. As we go through it, we're going to select a topic that you can write your news report on. Okay, something you find interesting will be a lot easier to write about than anything else, and you're going to brainstorm and plan your work using a template. And so the template looks like this. It's really, really, really important, and I want to see the template as well. What's the headline, byline, the lead? Okay, you can do this in point form. You don't have to do this in written. Do this in point form of what's going on. And you probably aren't going to write the headline or the lead until you get some of this other information in here. What are the main points that you want to talk about? All right. Is there any other relevant information that just didn't quite fit here in the who, what, where, when, why, and how? And who are you going to quote? And who's the source going to be? Who are you going to quote? Who's the source? Who are you going to quote? Who's the source? Some people are doing ones on in the last activity on the Facebook, and they only quoted from Facebook people. But remember, that Facebook one was talking about outraged users, and there's no quotes about users. So you need to think about what you're doing, how you're going to wrap it up. So that's really important, and you can use this template, or you can copy and paste it and put it into another document. But I want to see that, and then move on from there. You can keep typing after that as well for the rest of the stuff. Okay. As we go through it now, we're going to do a rough draft. Okay, remember to use refer to the exemplar up here, okay, to help you through the process. You're going to take your template and building one paragraph at a time. So build up all those different paragraphs, the lead, and then and the body, and how you're going to work your quotes into it. Okay, edit your own work. Okay, there's the first of 2 rounds of editing. Edit your own work. See what's going on. Scribble on it. Cross it out. Add things. Change things, or whatever. Okay. And then have a new one, so you can copy and paste with your new edited version. Okay, I think it's good to read it out loud. It does sound silly, but if you read it out loud, you can listen for errors, and it makes sense. Okay, when reading your own work, you may not be able to see mistakes you commonly make. However, when you read it out loud, you'll often hear the errors with word choice or sentence structure, fluency, or even spelling. Sometimes as you try to read it, you'll notice any spelling mistakes. Okay, there's a couple little hints about spelling rules and being good audience for writing. You can talk about these, and there's some questions you can ask yourself to see if it makes sense. Now you have time to update your first draft. Now you can exchange with a peer, okay, or a friend, and they're going to have a peer editing checklist. I want to see this as well. What have they written in here? Okay, and if you need to, you can be printing and scanning. That's fine. All right, but they need to go through it. Are the ideas clearly stated? Can they include the 5 W's and H? Is the message clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Any suggestions or concerns? Okay. Any of the helpful comments, and you can use that to make your next edit. Okay, after you've had that, you may want to call them if you're not right online, or you can chat with them online if you want to, and they can talk to you about it. But then you're going to make a final draft or a final copy based on their edits, and I want everything handed in. So feel free to scan, or some people what they do is they write it out and then they just take a picture using their camera and attach it as an image. That's fine too. Or you can do it all in one document and just have it some sections headed off so it's nice and easy for you to follow. But there we go. Okay, if you have to do it in separate documents, that's okay. Make sure they're titled so it's easy to find. And that's how we're going to do Unit 2 Activity 5. It's a big one, I know.